So Alex, welcome to Munich.
Thank you.
Do you have time to go sightseeing when you go on tour? No.
No, really. I mean, I've been to over 80 countries in this world, and I can't say I've seen that many of them. I see, the venue, radio stations, TV stations, the hotel, the airport.
Okay.
And then out the car window. But sometimes I get some days off. This Saturday, 2 days ago, I had a day off in Baden-Baden after playing the New Pop Festival. So that was good. I got to have. There's not too much to see there. It was pretty. But my mother lives in Germany, so when I was younger, I came here a lot. So I've seen a lot of the country, and I've toured through Germany many times. So, yeah.
And in Munich?
Munich I've been to, yeah. My mom, when I was 8 years old, she moved to Munich, and she lived in Munich, I think, for 5 years. So I've seen bits and pieces of Munich. Yeah.
A moment here in Munich is Oktoberfest,
Yes. Yeah, last night we arrived here, and my band went out and partied all night.
Okay. You also?
No, I mean, I have to work all day today, so no. And I'm allergic to alcohol, so I can't drink.
Okay.
So it's not very fun to go to Oktoberfest and you can't drink beer, unfortunately. So, no. And I'm the one who has to work.
Okay.
They're all hired and they can do what they want. So.
Okay.
Okay, let us talk about you. You were born into an entertainment family.
Yes.
Your father was a famous horror movie director. You formed together with Aaron Kamin Generation Gap. You started your career at the age of 15 when you dropped out from school. You signed with RCA Records at the age of 15, and after that you were lead singer of The Calling. Then you decided to go solo. It's a very interesting CV.
Definitely, yeah. And a lot of people don't know that The Calling wasn't a band. That it was just me and Aaron, and we would hire people. So there were no other band members, and no one else was signed to the label. It was just us two. So The Calling was the two of us. And when we went on tour, we would hire different young people to play with us. So that's why I decided to go solo, mostly because everyone thought The Calling was a band of members and repeat, but it was never like that.
Okay.
So that was probably part due to the label, the image. They always put the people we hired in pictures and T-shirts and album back, and I kept telling the label, this is silly. These people are not band members, so they never listened. So.
Okay. And how would you describe your life in your own words?
My life is crazy. There's no routine. It's just completely crazy.
Okay.
Completely crazy.
And was it your childhood dream to be a musician?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I always knew from probably the age of 4 years old that I wanted to be in music and sing. And I mean, when I was 8 years old, I started playing guitar and piano and writing songs. And by 11, I had made my first studio recording. And by 15, I was signed. So yeah, I always knew I wanted to do it.
Okay. How would you describe yourself in only 3 words?
Passionate, determined, open, friendly. I don't know.
Okay.
That's tough.
Tonight you're on stage solo. Is it but with the band? I think
same thing as The Calling. Hire people. Yeah.
But where's the difference, in your opinion, between a band, to play in a band, and...
There was no difference. I mean, it's the same thing. In The Calling, I just hired people. Yeah. And now as a solo artist, I just hire people. So because The Calling wasn't a band, there was no difference. Okay. I'd say the only difference is I don't have a partner anymore. With The Calling, it was just me and Aaron, and we wrote the songs together, and he didn't really do much touring or did any of that side. He was mostly producing and writing with me. So that's the only difference, now. But I'm very used to touring with, hired musicians. So there really isn't that much of a difference since The Calling wasn't a band.
Okay.
Yeah, except now I don't have a partner, so I'm running everything. I'm the boss. And I have my own record label now in America, and I'm running everything. So, it's good. I get to do what I want.
Okay. You mentioned you've got your own record label, A&B Records, right? You will be more acting in the future. You're modeling, so you're an all-round talent, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a little little acting. I mean, the biggest thing I've done acting-wise was recently when I did like guest starred in CSI. That's kind of like the first. I think I'll probably do more things like that, like little parts. But I don't go on auditions or try to get acting. I don't have an acting agent. I was, sometimes things are offered to you, like they're looking for me and they want me to do something, and then I love to do it. So little things on the side, but I would never act as like a main thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your preference is music?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Acting for me is, to me there's just not much emotion in it. Like you're given lines, and like there's nothing that you are creating other than like the way you play it. So it's interesting, and it was an interesting, different experience to do. But for me to create my own music and share it with the world and perform and travel, I mean that's my heart, where my life is.
Okay. Tonight was the first single lifted from your album. In Germany, the song wasn't only played on radio; it was also
a World Cup song for RTO.
Right. Are you a soccer fan?
I really like soccer. I mean, being from America, soccer is just not like really a big sport there at all. I mean, America's probably the only country in the world that just is not. We have football, and like I've never been really into sports. Like, I mean, I had fun playing them when I was a child, but I don't like follow any kind of sports or have favorite team or anything. I don't really know much about sports because my father never was, so I never really was raised like that. But I love how passionate all the countries are with soccer, and how, especially Germany. I mean, first of all, how amazing your teams are, but how much it's like everyone gets together in this country and really like to believe in their teams, and like I think that's really great. So it was a big honor to have my song be a part of like all the theme for an RTL here for the World Cup. That was great, but I don't know anything about sports.
Okay.
Okay, what are you doing in your free time? What's your hobbies?
I don't really have too much free time, and like the free time I have, like when I go home, actually this Friday I go home for like a week off, so I'll probably do completely normal things for me are amazing and different. Sit on the couch and watch TV, see my family, spend time with my fiance, enjoy my home, which I haven't really been living in too much. I started living there only 5 days before I started touring 6 months ago, so I'd like to enjoy it more. And there's the pool, and it's really nice. But yeah, mostly seeing my family, relaxing, and then I like to play golf, but I haven't had time to play in like 10 months. And I'm a helicopter pilot, so I like, in Los Angeles, I like to go fly around. So whenever I'm home, I go and fly. And if any of my friends or people want to go up, I take them on a little tour around Hollywood and stuff. So yeah, I really enjoy flying. That's like a great release, kind of just get up there and float around and have fun, and you're away from the world pretty much. I like that.
Okay. So let us come back to your solo album. We've all been there. How would you describe the album?
I think it's a big kind of anthemic rock songs. It's radio friendly, obviously. It has those hooks and those melodies, but it's a very cinematic record. I think that I think what I did best were those mid-tempo rock ballads, like Wherever You Will Go, in Our Lives, and the ones I had as The Calling. So I think I focus more on that, and this album is a lot of that. So there's a lot of kind of, like I said, emotional, like there's a lot of emotion in it. Whereas like I think a lot of music these days on top 40 radio is emotionless. It's like, they're fun songs, but it's urban or R&B, and like they're kind of cool and you dance along to it, but it doesn't touch you, or it doesn't have like a feeling, It's rare that it does. So my songs are the kind of songs that I think in this album are like Wherever You Will Go, just will keep playing. Like they could be played on the radio, I think 10 years from now, and they won't sound dated. That's just something, Wherever You Go is still played on the radio, and I know that Tonight now is still on the top, it's like 25 on their chart here. It's been on your chart, top 40 for over half a year. So it just shows like those are the kind of songs that they're harder to work and they're harder to get up the chart. Takes longer than like the ear candy pop songs, but they stay. They don't, like, people don't get sick of them easily, and I like that, because I think my songs like have a meaning for people. Like Wherever You'll Go is played at people's funerals and weddings and like big moments in their lives, so I really like that.
Okay.
And which song from the album is your personal favorite?
I think the song I'm most proud of, it's not going to be a single, but it's a song called Please.
Okay.
And I think lyrically and emotionally, that song for me is one of like the best songs I've ever written. I think I'm just really proud of that one. I really like it.
Okay.
Why was Tonight the first single left out from your album?
I don't know. It was one of the first songs I wrote like 5 years ago when I started writing the album. So I don't know. It always felt like kind of the right one. It's just a big love story, and even though I wrote it kind of about like a vampire love story, it was, it wasn't. I didn't want to come out with something that was like the second single here is going to be a song called Only One, which is really deep and like serious, and I don't know. I wanted something a little fun and more upbeat and kind of big to open up the record. So Tonight was just always in America as well what we went for first.
Mm-hmm.
And you have already worked together with Santana. And is there another artist you'd like to work with?
Yeah, I mean, I doubt it'll ever happen because in the kind of music I do, it's not you don't really do duets or Alex Band featuring someone. But I mean, I love Coldplay. Yeah. Chris Martin I've met before, but I'd love to ever write with him or to work with him would be a dream come true. And of course Bono. I mean, I'm a huge U2 fan, so to be able to meet Bono one day would be great. Bono's probably one of the few artists I look up to and that I haven't been able to meet. I'd really love to one day.
Okay. And what will the future bring for you? Are there another solo album or new album?
Oh yeah,
with,
of course.
The Calling?
No, I don't think I'll be doing anything with the Calling because there is no
Calling. Yes.
And honestly, ever since I decided to go solo, my old partner in the Calling, Aaron, he's just been more and more at home and produces other artists, and to do the Calling I would have to work with him again, and we never really got along that great, and we wanted different things, and so I don't think that'll happen. But this is just the beginning of my solo career. I'm only on the first single. The album came out here 3 days ago. It's top 10 in the charts here right now. The album, this is an amazing thing after 5 years of following my dream and working and fighting to put this album out because it was a big fight. And so I want to make more records every year. No 5 years of waiting. More records and more touring, and I want to just have a sustained solo career really for the rest of my life. I'd love to continue to do this. This is what I love to do, and right now actually I will continue to make albums and do that normal process we're all used to. You're in the studio for like a year, you put out the album, you tour for a year, but at the same time I have an online store, and on this online store I have of course merchandise, shirts and all kinds of different things like that, but I also have a song section where you can buy songs, and every week or every 2 weeks I'm adding a new song. So there's songs that I'm not going to put on my album that I'm writing and I'm going to put on the store. So eventually I'm going to have, it's like an Alex Band store of music. So I think by a year from now I'll have 30 songs in there and just I want to create a big content of songs where people can go in and pick what songs they want, and these are special that are only in my store. So I'm working on that as well, because I think the future of music is not albums. I think, of course, CDs are going to go bye-bye. Yeah. But I think also the idea of making like a collection of songs and putting it as an album, kids now just want 1 song, 2 songs. So I think that the future is going to be just like just continuing to put out songs, not like a collection. So, that idea of that album, like a piece of work, people just chop it up anyway. iTunes, you listen to the little clips and you buy track 2 and 6. And so what's the point, So I think that's the future. So I'm kind of starting it now. I don't know if any other artists are doing that, but I'm doing some things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who paid for the first date?
Who paid for the what?
For the first date.
The first date?
Date.
Like with a girl, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I always pay.
Yeah?
Always. I paid still. my ex-wife, we were together for 9 years, and I always paid.
Yeah.
I think if the man can and he's working, I think it's kind of normal. I think that's right, like to take care of a woman. So I've always been like that. Yeah.